Hello, and welcome to the Hack Divorce Course Parenting Module. My name is Michelle. I'm a family law mediator and creator of the Hack Divorce Course. Check out the link below to download the free parenting module workbook that accompanies these videos. And if you are a DIYer and would like to write your own separation agreement, click on the link below to purchase my definitive sourcebook of family law separation agreement clauses. This one-of-a-kind, indispensable resource will show you a dozen examples of real, comprehensive separation agreements with tips and tools so you can competently write your own agreement. Be sure to like and subscribe, and now, let's get on with it. In Canada, unless a court has ordered differently, a child has the right to travel with a parent whether inside the country or outside of it. If you go to section number 6 of the Parenting Plan tool, you'll see that question number 1 asks, who may apply for your children's passports? Who will keep your children's passports? If your children have citizenship in more than one country, what passports will they use? One of the most important identification documents your child will ever have is their passport, and it requires special attention and protection even in your parenting plan. It's really important to specify which parent will do what when it comes to renewing passports, because sometimes the officer at the passport office will want to see the agreement you've made about who is responsible for what. So, designate who will fill out the application form and take it to the renewal office. The other parent will need to sign the document before it's submitted for passport renewal. Beyond all that, the passports need to be kept safe with the designated parent at all times, except for when they are given to the other parent for travel. As soon as the other parent is finished with the passports, they need to be returned to the parent that keeps them stored. Moving on, question number 2 asks, how will you and the other parent notify each other about plans to travel with your children? How far in advance? What type of travel information will you share? For example, flight information, emergency contact information, and location and destination. When a parent is traveling with a child, it's vitally important that the non-traveling parent has the information about flights, itinerary, and emergency contact numbers. The same is true for when a parent is traveling on their own without the children. The reason for this is that if there was ever an emergency and the travelers needed to be contacted, the non-traveling parent could do so. As for planning trips in general, if you can give the other parent 1 month or more of advance notice for travel, that would be preferable. If the situation between parents is a little tenuous, be sure to make a written agreement about travel before finalizing ticket purchases. Also, be sure to get the non-traveling parent to sign and have witnessed a consent to travel letter, in case it's required to leave or re-entry the country with the child. Let's see what some clauses look like that would apply to this. The section is called Parenting. 1.1. Patricia will apply for a Canadian passport for the children. John will sign the passport application. Patricia will keep the passports and give them to John when he needs it for travel. John will promptly return the passports when he returns from travel. 1.2. If either party plans a vacation with the children, that party will give the other a detailed itinerary at least 30 days before it begins, including the name of any flight carrier and flight times, accommodation, including address and phone numbers, and details to show how to contact the children during the trip. 1.3. If either party plans a vacation without the children, that party will give the other a telephone number where he or she can be reached in case of emergency or if the children wish to contact that parent. 1.4. If either party plans a vacation outside Canada with the children, the traveling party will provide the other party with travel consent forms authorizing the children to travel for the other party to execute and have notarized. Question number 3 asks, if your children require additional medical coverage or immunizations/vaccines for travel, who will be responsible for making these decisions and for paying any related costs? The answer to that is, before booking trips to destinations that require vaccines or specific medical information, talk to the other parent and decide how you will handle this. Moving on, question number 4 asks, do you have concerns about your children traveling with the other parent? Occasionally, in less than amicable situations, a parent may not wish for their child to travel with the other parent. If this is you, you may have to look into what your rights are by consulting a lawyer. Restraining a parent from traveling with their child requires a process, and you'll have to find out what that looks like for you, where you live, and your specific circumstances. On to daycare now. Moving on to section number 7 in the parenting plan tool, we find question number 1, and it asks, what childcare arrangements will be needed for your children? For example, full or part-time daycare, after-school care, school breaks, and how much will the costs be shared? Who will claim the tax deduction? Depending on the residency situation for your children, you may need daycare consistently at the same times every week, or you may need it for 1 week and then not for the following week, etc. Determining exactly what you require is the first step in unraveling your daycare needs. In some cases, you'll be expected to pay for daycare even on days or weeks when you are not using it, simply in order to hold a spot. So get clear information about this from prospective providers. Following that, you need to agree on a daycare provider with your ex that you both feel is a good fit for your child and situation. Daycare is a special expense, and you and your ex will need to decide who will pay for it and how. The most popular ways of sharing the cost are 50-50 or in proportion to income. Occasionally, one party will pay for all of the daycare. In Canada, daycare costs can be claimed for a tax deduction. It can be a little complicated, so you'll find a link below to more information and the proper government form that needs to be filled out for this. Question number 2 asks, who will care for the children if your childcare provider is unavailable? When the parent who has residency time is unable to care for the child for whatever reason, the opportunity to care for the child is typically offered to the other parent. This is called right of first refusal, and it's often written into an agreement. However, if neither parent can care for the child, then having an alternate to call on, such as a grandparent or a local friend, is a good backup plan to have in place. Let's have a look at what this might look like in a clause. The section is parenting. 1.1. John and Patricia agree that it is in the children's best interest to spend time with the other parent rather than with a third party. Accordingly, if a party who the children are scheduled to be with according to the schedule above cannot care for them, that party will notify the other party and give the other party the opportunity to do so. If the other party cannot care for the children, the party with whom they are scheduled to be with according to the schedule above will be solely and financially responsible for making alternate childcare arrangements. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to grab your copy of my indispensable resource for writing your own separation agreement, the definitive sourcebook of family law separation agreement clauses. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you soon.